For individuals with intellectual disability, we've really come up with 5 C's regarding communication. Because when you really think about it, our population has challenges processing information via words. And so, with that said, how can we effectively communicate as we teach and coach individuals with intellectual disability? Well, the first C, that stands for clear. There are so many definitions and so many meanings of words, we really want to keep it at one meaning. And that way, the athlete can understand more clearly what is either being conveyed to them or asked of them. We want to use then also concise for few words. If they have a problem processing information, we don't want to use more. We want to use few, but still very specific to what we're asking. The third C is concrete. Concepts and concrete are making them concrete is a challenge in that a lot of times you don't realize how many concepts we really deal with every day. Right, left, sleeve, up, down. Those are all concepts, and we need to be able to make them concrete so that an athlete has a point of reference. For example, in the sport of basketball, you shoot at the basket at one end and you play defense at the other end in the first half, as well as the 3-second lane. Well, just think about it. In the second half, we change baskets. Well, how do we make that concept concrete? A brilliant Special Olympics coach who had been coaching for several years said, when you take a clipboard and you have that court drawn out on the clipboard, right at the beginning of the game or even in practice, you need to practice this. So the athletes are behind you and you say, well, where are we shooting now? Well, we point down the court. Where's offense? Down there. Well, what about defense? Well, it's at the other end. So in the second half or in the second part of practice, you bring out that clipboard and you say, well, now where was it that we were shooting? Down there. So the coach then takes the clipboard and pivots it around. So the athletes see that the basket now has gone from this end to the other end. Now where are we shooting? Down there. Where's offense? Down there. Where are we defending? On defense. And then we go out and we actually go right into what we're about to do. So that's physically making a concept concrete. Consistent is our fourth word, and consistent means that whatever terms we are saying about a skill, we want to use those terms consistently so that the athlete can latch on to what this particular term means. I have a story to tell. Here I have a background in basketball, have taught and coached at every level, from junior high to high school to Division II, Division I. And I now have started working with Special Olympics athletes, and we happen to qualify for our state games. So as we are playing the game, it's a very close game, and at the end of the game, we're 1 point down, but we have the ball. And so when we start our offense, our best player is the point guard, because you have no offense unless you have that in the best player's hands. On go, they break to their setup, open spots. And the point guard knows he's in charge. If he can go and score, he can go and score. Well, in my exuberance, I jumped up off the bench and I said, James, put the ball on the floor and go to the basket. Problem, I used a different term. James, in his infinite wisdom, follows the direction of the coach, put the ball on the floor and ran to the basket. They picked up the ball, went down, scored. Game over, we lose. Moral of the story, if I had used the term drive that I used in the entire season, James would have continued dribbling the ball, went in, laid it up, we win by 1. Moral of the story is, don't get in the athlete's way and use consistent terms. And the last is command-oriented. We need to use words that tie to a physical skill. So if I say good job, now how is the athlete going to really know what's good about what they just did? If I say good follow through, or good jump shot, or good pass, way to lead your teammate. Now that athlete has a point of reference and he can feel good about truly what he did do. And then later, ask the athlete, well, what fell short here? Why weren't you able to get the ball to the basket, or why weren't you able to make the pass? And the athlete can say, I didn't follow through. That engagement is necessary for an athlete to learn. And those 5 words, 5 C words, from clear to concise, making concepts concrete, being consistent in our terminology, and certainly making things command-oriented, not only achieves success with the athlete, but the athlete is engaged and has ownership in that process as well.